Good morning, Miss. Let me introduce myself. My name is Agnetta Hadasa and my partner is Alya Lutfita. So this time we will present our discussion about problem-based learning. So here our presentation. What is problem-based learning? Problem-based learning, or PBL, is a learning model that prioritizes solving common problems that commonly occur in everyday life. As stated by Soiman, that problem-based learning means creating a learning atmosphere that leads to everyday problems. Complementing this statement, Panen in Rusmono 2014 states that in a learning model with a problem-based learning approach, students are expected to be involved in a research process that involves them in identifying problems, collecting data, and using the data to solve problems. Next. Problem-based learning syntax. Then, what are the syntax, procedures, steps, or stage of the problem-based learning model? The syntax of the problem-based learning model, according to Warsono and Haryanto 2013, is as follows. The first one is provide problem orientation to students by explaining learning objectives as well as materials and tools needed to solve problems. The second is help define problems and organize students in learning to solve problems. The third one is the teacher encourages students to find appropriate information and seek explanation for solving the problems. The fourth one is support students to develop and present their work. And the last one is the teacher helps students reflect on the results of their investigations and the learning process that has been carried out. Next. Meanwhile, the learning steps for problem-based learning, according to Soyman, are: the first one is explaining learning objectives, including explaining the logistic needed and motivating student in the selected problem-solving activity. The second is help students define and organize learning tasks related to these problems. The third one is encourage students to collect appropriate information, experiment for problem explanation, data collection, hypothesis, and problem solving. The last one is assisting students in planning and preparing appropriate work, reports such as reports. The teacher helps students to evaluate their investigations. So the next presentation will be present by Alya Lutfita. So the time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Agneta. The strengths and weakness of problem-based learning. In addition, Shoimin 2017 reveals several advantages of the problem-based learning model, which include: number one, encourage students to have the ability to solve problems in the real world. Number two, build student knowledge through learning activities. Number three, study material that is appropriate to the problem. Number four, there is scientific activity through group work on students. Number five, communication skills will be formed through discussion activities and presentation of work result. Number six, through group work, students who experience difficulties individually can be overcome. Meanwhile, the weaknesses of applying the problem-based learning model, according to Shoimi in 2017, include: number one, not all learning materials can be applied PBL. The teacher must still play an active role in presenting the material and will have difficulty in fact classes. Number two, the high diversity of students in a class will make it difficult to divide tasks based on real problems. In addition, according to I.Reading 2014, the deficiencies of the problem-based learning model are as follows. Number one, students who are used to getting information obtained from the teacher as the main research will feel uncomfortable with self-study and problem solving. Number two, if students do not have a sense of confidence that the problem being studied is difficult to solve, then they will feel reluctant to try to solve the problem. Last number is without students' understanding of why they should try to solve the problems being studied, they will not learn what they want to learn. Problem-based learning objectives. Hosnan 2014 explains that the main purpose of the PBL model is not just conveying knowledge to students, but also developing critical thinking skills and problem solving abilities, as well as the ability of the students themselves to actively acquire their own knowledge. A similar opinion was also conveyed by Al-Tabani 2017, which states that the problem-based learning model seeks to help students become independent and autonomous learners through teacher guidance, which repeatedly encourages and direct them to ask questions and find solutions to real problem with by themselves. Students will indirectly learn to complete this task independently in their later lives. From some of the opinion above, it can be concluded that the purpose of PBL is for students to develop critical thinking skills, problem solving, independent learning, and have high social skills in life.
Okay, thank you, Alya. So that's all about our discussion about problem-based learning. If there are any mistake, we apologize and thank you very much.